Hello everyone, welcome to See Beth Stamp. I'm Beth Willoughby, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to make my winner chicken spinner card. It was used making the Hey Chick stamp set and the accompanying chick dies. Now these dies are quite extensive, really. Here's the stamp set. It's in the mini catalog right now. I believe at one time it was part of a celebration set. And now they've issued some dies to go with it. There are dies for each of the chickens and the little egg. There is a hen house, a sign that can be used to put any of your little sentiments in, corn stalks and corn, and a fence. We're going to use the fence today, as well as a die for the chicken. Here's the card again. It is a spinner card. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I used the buffalo check background stamp to do the black and white check. I stamped it on Whisper White Thick cardstock, and I stamped it on a 6x6 piece. I wanted to have plenty of room to use my magnets on my Stamparatus to hold the paper still, because I wanted a really good dark impression, and I wanted to make sure that it would line up. So we can trim that. I'm going to trim it down to a, let me look here, I believe it's a 3 1/4 by 5. Yes, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. We're going to trim that down, and then we'll see if we can't use a strip of that to put inside the card. To make the slot for the penny slider, I used the classic label punch. I lined it up so that the edge of the cardstock would come right to the edge of the punch here, and I put the cardstock as far inside the punch as I could. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Put the cardstock right up to the edge of the punch, and as far in the punch as it will go. Now you see I have a little dollop there, but I can line that up easily to take those little bits of cardstock out. Okay, now you have a nice slot. For those of you that may have the word window punch, that's a punch that's been long retired with Stampin' Up, that punch would work as well. If you don't have either of these punches, you can certainly cut a slot on your trimmer. And this slot is about 5 1/8 inches. I'm not 5 1/8. I'm sorry, 5/8 inches wide this way. And it's about 4 inches long. You want to give it plenty of room for your spinner to move back and forth. And if you can look here and see, this leaves a piece of the cardstock a little bit shorter at the top. I want to put the shorter edge of the cardstock, what's left, up here. And there's more remaining down here, okay? We want the movable object to have plenty of room to move. So we're going to put some adhesive foam strips to give it a little bit of depth so that it can slide back and forth well. It's kind of hard to spin where you can see it when I have it laying down like this. So I'm going to put some adhesive strips on here. And you do not want to put them too close in this area so that they won't bump into your spinner. So I'm just going to put them along the edge. And along the sides. And then I'm going to look at our cut piece and see. Now the piece that's going to be spinning is the chicken here. As I said, the smaller piece of the cardstock is up here at the top. So I could probably put another strip right down here. Anything that's going to help this from sinking down to give it plenty of room to spin. So we'll do that. We'll put a couple more strips right there. We just don't want to interfere with our chicken. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this part of the spinner down. There's also a Hey Birthday Chick stamp set and accompanying dies that can be used interchangeably with this, and I hope to do a project with those soon. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I went ahead and pre-stamped our little chicken, our little egg, which I have on the inside of the card. So we're going to color those very quickly and use the Big Shot or the Stampin' Up embossing and cutting machine to get those cut out. And I used blendabilities to color these. So we're not really going to be doing blending today. These images are much too small. But we are going to use these pretty markers. So we're going to use the comb there, the poppy on his comb, and a little bit of the Daffodil Delight on his feet and beak. And I'm still working on my collection of blendables. So I have a non-Stampin' Up marker here. This one in particular is a Zig Clean Color Real Brush. And I'm just going to color over part of our chick with this gray. So again, we're not blending, but I am going to make the gray just a little bit darker in places, just to give it a little bit of interest. Right as around his little wing and his neckline. Okay, now, that was quick and easy. Before I forget, I'm gonna take our little cracked egg here and color his little feet. And just a little bit here at his crack to show he's ready to come out of his shell. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. And before we cut those out, we are going to cut the little fence, the little yellow fence, just as soon as I find the dies, because I like to hide things from myself, you know. So here's the piece we're going to use. And because this has such a fine grid on it and would be otherwise hard to adhere without getting glue everywhere, we're going to use some of our adhesive sheets. And I'm just going to roughly figure out how big a piece of cardstock we're going to need and cut around that. Okay. And then cut a corresponding piece of adhesive sheet. Peel off one of the sides, one of the sticky sides here of our adhesive sheet. Oops. You have to pay attention to what you're doing here. Okay, now. So we'll get our big shot. I keep saying big shot. It's not called big shot anymore. Stamping and emboss machine. So we're going to put our platform down. And I believe we can cut out everything at once. Before I forget, I had gone ahead and stamped Hey Chick for our greeting, and I'm going to use this same classic label to crop that, and I'm going to do it a little bit so we have a little bit of extra room at the left so we can put some embellishments on there. Okay, now we can put this down like this, and we're going to get our dies that I conveniently or inconveniently hidden from myself once again. Here we've got, make sure we gotta have the right one here. Yeah. We're gonna line this up on our big chick. Find our little cracked egg here. And line this up. This die looks like a little goldfish cracker. If you turn it to the side like that, I think that'd make an excellent little goldfish cracker. You could just put a little eyeball on there, a little dot of black, cut that out of some orange paper, it'd be awesome. Anyway, that's just my take on that. Okay, so now, let's get the other plate on there. Try not to move the dies. And run it through. Oh no. And of course that one shifted. Did it cut? Oh, it cut our little egg. We'll have to redo that one. Darn it. Okay. I believe we have those two things. Now let's go ahead real quickly and stamp that little egg again. Here's our little egg. Here's our chicken. And here is our fence. Now we're going to poke this out gently. I think that's the last one, maybe, hopefully. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put this right up here at the top. We had to put something flat up here so that our chicken won't bump into it. Okay, now. Now it's time to make the spinner part of the card. We're going to need 2 pennies, which of course I've hidden from myself yet again. There we go. 2 pennies. and some dimensionals. Now, you don't want to put too big a dimensional on here. These are some random dimensionals that I've had so long, I don't know where I got them. They're perfectly round. That's really the best kind for this kind of a spinner card because, well, it's just like a wheel. You wouldn't want your wheel to be 8-sided or 6-sided. And Stampin' Up! Dimensionals have all the edges on them. You can use those, but you just need to trim them if that's what you're going to use so they'll be more round. And I think that makes a much better mechanism for your spinner. Now, you just want to line your pennies up, make a little sandwich with the dimensional in the middle. And you're going to put one side of the slot down here and then very gently lift this up and work that under so that your penny, your other penny is there. Get down there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, put some dimensionals on our chicken and get him on there. On that top penny. And I'm going to use one of these big dimensionals for that. Okay. All right. Oh, look at that. Then your little chicken's just going to spin, spin, spin. Isn't that fun? Okay, to finish off the card, we're going to put our sentiment down here at the bottom. And here it is that we punched out earlier using the classic label punch. And I'm going to punch a backing for it out of Poppy Parade. Punch one. And of course, if we layered that right on top, you wouldn't have any kind of mat at all. So we're going to cut the red piece in half in the middle. And put a little snail down on each end of our white. And just, can you see? I hope you can see. Line this up so some of that red will stick out there at the end. Just gives it a little bit more interest. Try to do it sort of equally on this side. Okay, great. We'll put some dimensionals on the back of this. Pop it up down here at the bottom. And I used some retired elements or embellishments, I should say. These were from the Christmas mini catalog, and they were all the trimmings embellishments. I'll show those to you. Hey, Chick, let me grab those embellishments. All the trimmings, embellishments. I'm going to put just a tiny little Poppy Parade dot here. And a little yellow star. Okay, that's pretty much the front of our winter chicken dinner card. For the inside, I have a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock that I cut to 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to stamp On the outside, we have Hey Chick. So I'm going to say, have a happy day. We're going to put that on the inside with our Poppy Parade. All right. We'll get that down. And bring our little cracked egg back over here. We've almost forgotten about him. Where's our marker? We're going to color his little feet again. And his little crack. And I thought that it might be cute where we trimmed off the buffalo check paper earlier. If we could put a little strip of that down here. So we need that to be about 5 1/4. Let's see. Have a happy day. Okay. So, winner, winner. I do believe we have a winner. These cards are so much fun. I hope you'll give it a try. And let me know what you come up with. Thanks a lot, y'all. Bye.